Good afternoon and welcome to today's aftermarket analysis video. We look at the SPY mostly and a couple of other things to gauge what the market did today. Before I do that, I want to share with you one new tool that we have added on our website. The tool, of course, you can go to TradeTheseStocks.com, and if you click on Markets and Charts tool, which is right here, there is a convenient layout here where you can just click around, look at some of the common equities, look at commodities, forex, and whatever you want. And then in addition to that, there is a very cool chart system set up here, and you can compare based on two different time frames. So if you're a swing trader, you could have two different charts side by side, have a daily and then, for example, a weekly. Of course, you can change that as you wish. You can draw trend lines and do your own technical analysis. So if you want to use that, by all means, check it out, TradeTheseStocks.com. Hopefully we will be adding more tools, but for now that's what we have, and hopefully you will take advantage of it. Now, having said that, let's go into what we really want to talk about, which is what happened in the markets. The markets had a very impressive day. So we're looking at the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. What happened is that initially we gapped up in the morning, and as the day progressed, we pretty much rallied and closed at the daily highs in the SPY. So very impressive day. So it seems that the market at the moment is bullish and wants to turn around. And again, a lot of people were bearish because we had these three tries, right, of wanting to go back up, and we had these three sessions where we went lower, and then of course that accumulated a lot of negative sentiment. A lot of people also accumulated shorts, and then what happened? Well, essentially in the end we held this triple bottom, had a really good candle in the last session, and then today was just confirmation of that, saying, okay, well, this is it. For now, we are bullish. Now, in the last video, I was talking about, now this is if you looked at the previous video, right, yesterday's video before the market opened today, I was talking about this market again, seeing some bullishness. And again, we saw that based on the indicators, based on the stochastics, which are positive. So that part is good. The market ultimately tells us, in at least on a daily basis, that it wants to go higher. So based on all of this, I have determined that at least from yesterday's information, you had some near-term resistance levels, which were 203, 204, and 205, and that the market would probably have to sort of stair step into those resistance levels. But once we clear 205, then that would probably make it even more bullish and make it gain momentum. And then ultimately where we go after that, it's possible that we can even take out the 209 level. We don't know yet, but that's where we stand right now. The only problem that you might have if you're a bull is that right now you are into a resistance level, and which is that purple line right there. So if you draw the two pivot points and draw a trend line in between them, you are right there. So you might have a little bit more to go at the 205 level, but we are at that next resistance. So again, we broke through the 203 this morning when we opened, then we struggled a little bit at the 204, ultimately broke out, and now the next resistance level that we have to break above is 205. And after that you will have another resistance level, which is right here, which is the 786 fib retracement, and it also coincides with these pivots. So 206.33 is your next major resistance level, and then ultimately after that you got to make it to 209 if you even get there. So that's what we're looking at. If we end up being bullish tomorrow, look out for 206.33, and then ultimately in a couple of days, if that happens, the 209 level as resistance. And if the market breaks down lower, you have of course today's low, which is the 202.50-ish area, and then this gap window right here. Of course you can go down lower. There is a 618 retracement at 201, and then ultimately after that, if you break this 201 level, I don't see a lot of support. So if we break the 201, if that should happen, then we are going to go very violently down, at least what I think. So we have to get above 205, get above 206.33, and then ultimately the goal is 209. And if we go to the downside, support is at 202.50, this gap fill at around 202, and then ultimately after that, if you break this 618 at 201.12, ultimately you are going down again. And at that point, if we see ourselves in the near term future right here in this area, there's a very good chance that we might break even further. But again, right now we are rallying to the upside, and so the probability is more here in this area. So it's going to take a while to get to this 197 if we get there. We're not going to concern ourselves with that. So keep those levels in mind. Let's go to the intraday. So the daily, as far as the stochastics go, is bullish. However, if you go and look at the shorter time frame candles, which in my opinion, I use the 120, 60, and 10. In my opinion, those are the best, but again, use your own time frame as you wish. The 120-minute candles are telling us essentially that the stochastics are on the opposite side. They are well above the 80 level, and so at some point we want to see a reversal. So again, ultimately, based on what I'm seeing on the daily, this market wants to go higher, but it might have done a little bit too much today, and based on the stochastics, we want to probably have a little bit of a healthy pullback before that happens. I don't know when that would happen, but based on this is something that would happen tomorrow at the open until potentially half of the day or so. That's just what I'm predicting, but again, that is mere speculation, nothing else. Just based on the stochastics, tomorrow we might see a little bit of a pullback that might last about half a day or maybe even longer, okay, because we might have another pause day for the market to digest this up move that it had today. Nonetheless, what I'm seeing is that in the short term, a little bit of a pause. And again, if you look at the 120-minute chart, you essentially had all these green candles, and now we are coming into this resistance area. We also have this gap fill right here. So essentially we are at that 205 level that I was talking about yesterday. So it is our final sort of level of resistance in the near term, and so I would expect some sort of pullback at least into tomorrow. If we go to the 60-minute chart, that one is telling us that, again, based on the stochastics, we are well above the 80 level, and therefore some pullback is expected. But if you look at this MACD, it's looking very good. It's not that bad. So again, tomorrow will be a good day to figure out whether the market wants to pause and go a little bit higher or whether it's going to reverse again. Now, of course, most of this move was because of the move in oil. Oil had a major move. However, I want to make sure that that video is posted separately because I have a lot to talk about concerning oil. So if you're patient, make sure to come back and check out that video. I will be posting that later on this evening. In the meantime, have fun trading, and just remember, be safe. That's the most important thing in trading. And also, speaking of oil, I posted a quick scalping trade today on USO right when it went over that $20 level and started reversing and made a quick $1,800. So if you followed me on social media and took that trade with me, congratulations. We made some money.